What if the line between you and the world was never there? Not a boundary to cross, a misunderstanding to outgrow. We learn the split early. Me and not me, subject and object, self in here, world out there. We spend our lives defending a border we can't find if we look with honest eyes. Look now. The sound you're hearing, where does it end and you begin? The breath you're taking, whose is it when the wind moves first? The sunlight on your skin, does it touch you or do you touch it? Non-duality isn't a belief. It's the clarity that arrives when the habit of dividing reality can't hold its shape. At first it feels like a threat. If there's no separateness, what happens to me? Who makes decisions? Who loves? Who hurts? But the closer you come, the gentler it gets. The question doesn't end in erasure. It ends in intimacy. Wave and ocean are not two. Flame and fire are not two. Dancer and dance are not two. Awareness and what appears in it, never two. Listen carefully. Notice a thought as it rises. Does it knock on a door to enter you? It blooms in the same space the birdsong lives in, the same space your heartbeat keeps time in. One field, many movements, touch your chest. Skin meets skin. Who is touching whom? Sensation is a single event wearing two names. We call the names I and world, then forget we wrote the labels. The labels are useful. Maps for crossing the street saying please, paying rent. But maps are not the country. Non-duality is the country. This is not a philosophy for escape. It is the end of loneliness at the level of being. When the border softens, compassion stops being a moral effort. It becomes physics. You care because there is less and less of a somebody over there. Harm echoes closer. So does joy. You don't disappear. What disappears is the imaginary edge that made everything feel far. Try this. Let a sound arrive. Don't listen, just be the arriving. Let a breath move. Don't breathe. Let breathing happen as you. Let a sight land. Don't look. Allow seeing without a seer. Feel how experience unknots when there's no middleman to manage it. The mind will protest. If there's no division, what about choice? Responsibility? Boundaries? Boundaries still function, like lines on a basketball court. We play better with them, but we don't mistake paint for walls. Choice still happens, cleaner now with less friction from the invented me defending itself. Responsibility deepens, not as burden but as responsibility, the natural intelligence of the whole moving as this life. Non-duality is not an achievement. It's what remains when separation stops being your default story. Stand quietly in a room you know. Let the room include you, not you in the room, rooming and youing as one event. You won't fall into nothing. You will fall into everything. And the war you've been waging, against time, against others, against yourself, starts losing soldiers. Because there are fewer and fewer places to draw a line. What if love is simply reality recognized? What if forgiveness is division forgetting itself? What if freedom isn't outside your life, but the absence of a border inside it? Keep looking, not with effort, with honesty. Where exactly do you end? The answer isn't an answer, it's a softening. A hand unclenches, a face relaxes. The world comes closer without moving at all. Non-duality and the death of division. Not a doctrine, an intimacy, not the end of you. The end of pretending you were ever apart. Living without the line. Non-duality isn't a mountain you summit. It's a street you already walk, once the line fades. So take it outside. Everyday sense practice. Let a sound arrive. Don't listen to it. Let listening happen as one event with the sound. Traffic plus use a kinker hearing. Let seeing be similar. Don't push sight outward. Don't pull the scene inward. Just seeing, no watcher, no watched. Touch is the simplest honesty. Hand meets mug. Where is the border? Sensation is a single flame wearing two names. Eat like this. One bite, fully, chewing as world and you moving together. Swallowing as permission, not achievement. Walk like this. Foot lifts, earth and body co-arise. Foot lands, gravity and grace sign the same document. Relationships without the middleman non-duality doesn't cancel people. It cancels the distance you imagined between you. Try this when someone speaks. Feel your chest receive their words as touch. Don't hold a counter-argument in your throat. Let meaning assemble itself in the shared space. When conflict sparks, remember two truths. Conventional truth, agreements matter, repair matters, boundaries matter. Non-dual truth, there is no over there to win against. Use both. A clear no can be love. A boundary is a way the whole protects itself from tearing. Work and creation. Flow is what happens when authorship softens. You're not forcing ideas. Ideas are finding shape through you. Before you begin, widen attention to periphery. Notice the room holding you, the chair under you, the hum around you. Start from field, not from forehead. When stuck, don't push, include. Add the soundscape, the breath, the ache in your jaw. Wholeness resumes, momentum follows. Body, pain, care. Saying no separation is not a license to ignore hurt. Pain is not an illusion. The story around pain often is. Hold sensation as weather in the same sky that names itself you. Then do what love would do for any weather. Seek shelter, take medicine, call a friend, rest. Non-duality deepens care. It does not subtract it. Ethics without edge. If there's one field, harm rebounds quickly. Responsibility becomes responsibility. The whole moving wisely as this life. Choose like this. Include more of the field. Who, what is affected. Feel the body's truth test. Tight, open, numb, act from clarity, repair from humility. Painted lines help the game. Don't mistake them for walls. Pitfalls, read gently. Spiritual bypass. There's no one here, so I don't have to feel, process, apologize. Correction. Feel fully. Repair concretely. Non-duality includes accountability. Relativism, nihilism. If nothing's separate, nothing matters. Correction. Precisely because it's one field, everything matters. State chasing. Treating non-dual as a high to maintain. Correction. It's not a sensation. It's the default when division relaxes. Boundary phobia. Equating love with leaking. Correction. Clear edges are how the ocean makes waves. Concept addiction. Lecturing the idea of oneness while living from defense. Practice. Fewer declarations, more demonstrations. Micro practices that reveal no division. Field first, before any action, widen to the whole room for 3 seconds, then move. Seam check. Ask, where exactly do I end right now? Wait in honest silence. We breath. In conversation, inhale, feeling both bodies breathe. Answer on the exhale. One event walking. Let step plus street be a single rhythm. Hand and table. Rest your palm on a surface. Feel contact as one sensation, not two things touching. Label as verb. Not I have a thought, but thinking. Not I see, but seeing. Nouns become movements. Movements share a field. Compassion loop. Picture the other's nervous system. Same electricity, different weather. Speak to regulate, not to win. News, feeds, and reactivity. The scroll compresses reality into arguments and alarms. Before you post, let the field in. Your room, breath, heartbeat, the weight of your phone. Respond from the whole, not the spike. Sometimes the most non-dual act is to step away and water a plant. Language that helps. Trade ownership grammar for event grammar. This is happening here, instead of I'm doing this to that. Notice how blame loosens and precision increases. The question of choice. If there is no separate chooser, what is deciding? Watch closely. Options appear, body feelings weigh, a movement occurs. Call it intelligence, dharma, system dynamics, God. Labels aside, action emerges cleaner when the invented me stops wrestling the river. Service and art. Non-duality turns service into listening. Where does the whole ache? Where does it ask to sing? You become an instrument that fits easily in many hands. Art too, less signature, more sincerity. The work feels inevitable, not because you forced it, but because you stopped standing in its way. A simple daily liturgy. Morning, stand at a window, soften the eyes, let the world include you. Midday, 3 breaths before send, by, post. Evening, hand on heart, whisper one field, then feel the bed and body as one event. If you forget, excellent. Forgetting is how remembering practices being kind. What changes is not the furniture of your life, but the felt physics of being in it. Less friction, more contact. Less me versus world, more worlding as me. And notice this, Compassion gets faster than judgment. You find yourself adjusting your tone mid-sentence, choosing repair without drama, letting small harms end small. Non-duality doesn't make you special. It makes you simple. And simple is surprisingly rare. The mind will ask for closure. Am I there yet? There is no there. There's only fewer places to draw a line. Stand in a doorway you pass each day. Let the room include you before you enter. Walk in as the field, not the defender. The ground holds. It always did. Paradoxes of one field. Non-duality lives where language phrase, so it shows up as paradox, choice without a chooser. Decisions still happen. Paradoxes of one field non-duality lives where language phrase. Options appear, body sense weighs, a movement occurs. When the invented me stops wrestling the river, choice gets cleaner, not weaker. It feels like clarity choosing through you. You notice less debate, more precision. Not because you're careless, because friction drops when you're not busy protecting a separate center. Love without another. If there's one field, how can love exist? Because intimacy deepens when distance thins. Care stops being a moral performance. It becomes physics. You help not to be a good person, but the way a hand scratches the other hand. One body, two locations. Boundaries don't vanish, they get wiser. A clear no is how the field keeps from tearing itself. Compassion speaks in the grammar of truth. Responsibility without a burden. If there is no separate self, who is accountable? The whole is, as you. Responsibility becomes responsibility. The capacity of the field to move wisely in this circumstance. Apology, repair, restitution, these are not admissions of a broken eye, they're how one organism heals its own tissue. Action without anxiety. Work happens, emails, code, caregiving, art. But the engine changes. Less proving, more serving. Less performance, more sincerity. You feel the shift from look at me to let it move. A brief nod to the brain without getting stuck there. The mind loves a mechanism. Here's a gentle sketch. Predictive processing. The brain keeps guessing the world and updating its model. The felt I in here, world out there is a useful shortcut in that model. Non-duality is what's seen when the shortcut relaxes and raw contact gets through. Default mode network. When this self-referential circuit quiets through meditation, awe, flow, deep connection, the narrative center softens. People report more field-like awareness, less bounded, more continuous. Interoception and exteroception. The same awareness that notices your heartbeat notices birdsong. Different signals, one canvas. Train the system to feel both at once, and the seam starts to loosen. Neuroscience doesn't create non-duality. It just shows how the nervous system can stop insisting on division long enough for reality to introduce itself. A short practice. Dissolving the line in real time. 3 minutes. Minute 1. Hearing as field. Sit or stand. Let sounds arrive from all directions. Drop the idea that you are over here listening. Just hearing happening. Traffic, air vent, bird, your own breath. One continuous tapestry of soundings. Minute 2. Seeing without a seer. Soften the eyes. Let the whole visual scene include the edges of your vision. Don't reach out with attention. Let the scene rest in you. Notice how the sense of a lookout behind the eyes fades when seeing is allowed instead of performed. Minute 3. Touch as one event. Place a palm on your chest or a tabletop. Feel contact as a single flame with 2 names. Not hand-touching table, but touching. Let breath move in the same space. No inside, no outside, only movement within a single room. Optional, the we breath, 30 seconds. If another person is near, feel both bodies breathing the same air. Not metaphor, sensation. Answer from this place. Common snags and gentle corrections. If nothing's separate, why am I suffering? Suffering happens. The story that it's personal failure adds friction. Meet it as weather. Then care for it. Rest, support, medicine, therapy. Non-duality includes tenderness. So nothing matters? If anything, everything matters more. One field means consequences land closer. Wisdom moves as care, not as indifference. I felt oneness, and then I lost it. What you lost was a state. The field didn't leave. Let grasping relax, live simply, the seam will blur again. Do I have to talk like this in real life? No. Use conventional language to function. Let event language quietly adjust how you feel while you speak. Micro-integrations. All day, low effort. Seam check. Several times a day ask, where exactly do I end right now? Wait 5 seconds. Let the body answer. Field first meetings. Before you speak in a room, include room sounds plus breath plus faces. Then talk. Reply on the exhale. In conversation, feel both bodies breathing. Answer only after your next exhale. Hand plus world. Rest one hand on a surface. Feel contact as one sensation. Keep that sense while typing, cooking, driving. Walk as one event. Step plus street. One rhythm. The ground carries you, you carry nothing. Name as verb. Swap. I have anxiety for anxiety-ing is here. Notice how verbs loosen the owner. A soft landing. Stand by a window. Don't look out. Let the day come in. Sounding, seeing, breathing, beating. One field, many waves. You never needed to dissolve into nothing. You're dissolving into everything. No doctrine. No trophy. Just fewer places to draw a line. One fabric you don't vanish. You simplify. Life doesn't become abstract. It gets close. Close like breath on glass. Close like a hand finding another hand in the dark. Non-duality is not a spell that erases the world. It's the end of arguing with what is already one piece. Love, after the border. Love stops being a transaction across a fence. It moves like weather, spontaneous, honest, local. You listen differently, not to prepare your answer, but to become spacious enough for two nervous systems at once. Sometimes love says yes. Sometimes love says no. Both are the field refusing to tear. Responsibility without the weight. Accountability continues, cleaner now. Apology is not a loss of self. It's the whole repairing the spot that stung. You keep your word because it keeps the fabric strong. You change your mind because new truth arrived. Same fabric, new weave. Everyday life. One event. You cook, not to become spiritual, but because onions meet oil, and this is what the universe wants to smell like tonight. You answer emails from the room, not the forehead. You cross the street as street and body in agreement. The sacred returns to scale. Dishes, doorways, daylight. What ends, quietly, the project of being separate. The heroism of carrying everything alone. The habit of inventing enemies to justify our armor. What remains is ordinary grace, being touchable by this moment and letting it be touched by you. When harm happens, non-duality is not permission to float. If harm appears, the whole moves to protect itself, through you. You set a boundary, you intervene, you leave, you call for help. Compassion isn't softness, it's accuracy with a heartbeat. When joy happens, you don't grip, you participate. Laughter spills through without needing to keep the river. Gratitude arrives not as a performance, but as the body's honest yes. When grief happens, you stop taking it personally and start taking it fully. Tears are the ocean remembering its tide. You breathe as one field until the wave is finished with you. Practice becomes posture. Less technique, more tone. Less chasing states, more telling the truth in small places. Less talking about oneness, more arranging your day so the fabric doesn't fray. And the paradox holds, the more you live like one field, the gentler your edges, the clearer your lines, the fewer your wars. Stand at the threshold of any room and let it include you before you enter. Step across as if the floor were your own open palm, because it is. There is nothing to maintain. Reality isn't fragile. It has been carrying you since the beginning. You were never outside the circle. You were drawing the circle too small. Next time on the Beyond the Self series, we explore being without borders, the soul beyond form. Until then, stay curious, stay conscious. If this stirred something inside you, subscribe, like, and share this with a fellow seeker.